Hey guys, welcome back to the Simple Ground Homestead. It's been a couple years now since I've finished off the solar off-grid powered system that we have here, and I've finally finished up some finishing touches that I've wanted to do before making this video, and I'm going to give you guys an update on our off-the-grid system, what it consists of and how it works, how we've enjoyed it, I guess, or not. Right? For our solar panels, we have 6 280 watt solar panels. They're REC brand, which I don't know anything about other than these ones seem to work really well. They're designed in a way that reduces the amount of problems that shade has on it. These 6 panels are actually wired in a way that they would act as though they were 12 separate panels. And really, like I said before, they work really well. It's 1600 watts altogether. Well, 1680 watts, I guess, if you did the math right. I do have room for another set of 3, and I do plan to expand, but I haven't gotten around to that yet. For our main generator, we're using this Westinghouse iGen 4500. It's an inverter generator which puts out really clean power, and I did a lot of research on it. I thought it would be a great generator, and when it comes to power output, it is a great generator and so on. It's a little larger size than most of the inverter generators of its range, but I've been a little unimpressed with how well it works. So it's not that I would really recommend it to anybody, it just happens to be what I have. Right now it's running purely on gasoline, and I'm ordering a snorkel kit to convert it to propane and gasoline. Maybe it'll work a little bit better in our situation to have it connected to propane. So just a couple words about the other 2 generators. I just happen to be collecting generators, and one is one that I've had well before we ever moved out here. It's way large. I think it goes through about 5 gallons in 12 hours or something. So it's good for running a welder or something like that. But our house really doesn't use all that much electricity. So it's way too big, way inefficient, and we'd spend all our money on gasoline there. This little Champion generator is one that we had interim for various projects and so on and so forth, and we found that the power output isn't all that clean. So when we tried to use it for powering our house, had a lot of strobe light effect when we were running our lights. Some of the bigger equipment and so forth, like the washing machine, dryer and stuff like that, had a little bit of trouble running on it. So we have it around because it was cheap to begin with, and I'm not quite sure if we're ready to sell it off or not, but it's actually not doing much good right now. Anyway, that's kind of our generator setup for what we have here. If nothing else, we know that we have backups to the backups. Okay, so I'm here in the power room that we have. This houses our inverter, charge controller, and the batteries. You'll also hear the rain falling on the roof here. Had a little bit of a rainstorm come over right as I came in. But what we have for an inverter here is the Connect XW4024. This unit is a 24 volt unit, and it puts out 3,500 watts, something like that. It also puts out 220 volts, so it's kind of a cool thing. It works really well. Very good, clean power. We haven't had any trouble running it. It's a fantastic piece of equipment. And when we got it with this Midnight Solar box that houses all the electrical in a really neat fashion, nice and neat. Our Midnight Classic charge controller here, I think it's the 150 model. Really nice as well. It's a good solid piece of equipment. and there's enough space on it to add another string of solar panels, which we're planning on doing. So that should happen soon. So these silicon salt batteries have been troopers. I haven't seen any sign of these set batteries fading out at all over the last couple of years. Now that's what I'm hoping to see, right? Because I kind of hope that they'll last 10, 15, 20 years, you know, but we'll see, you know, what actually comes of all of that. But very good power output. They absorb power very quickly. And during the winter months, have quite a few very cloudy days where we have to run the generator to charge the batteries. And, you know, our max time running a generator in a day is maybe 6 hours max, you know. Usually it'll charge up the batteries from, you know, 80%, just right around 80% to 100% in about 4 hours max. You know, that'll give it a good float at the top, you know what I mean? And most of that charging is done in the first hour and a half. So it's amazing what they can take. We've been glad that we've invested in these batteries. They're sealed, they don't have any maintenance, they don't have any off-gassing. It's great. We really like these. We end up using about 3 kilowatt hours a day. So, you know, there's a little piece of me that kind of wishes I had a little more battery bank. That way if something ever were to happen, like I can't have access to gasoline on one of those days where it's cloudy for a week or so, you know, I'd have a little bit more backup time. As it is, we go through, you know, that top 20% of the battery in a day. So, you know, maybe I could have sized it a touch bigger, but it's working out for us fairly well. We feel really comfortable with what we're doing, and what we're using and so on. So, so far, so good. I should also mention that this shipping container room that we built has been pretty fantastic too. So I'll show you inside the house really quick. When it comes to what we have for the electrical inside the house, it's been kind of surprising to me how little we've had to give up. We went ahead and wired our house pretty much like a normal house would. We actually have a breaker box that has 220 coming right into the breaker box, and then a couple lines of 110 to power everything inside. Our lights are, you know, like I said, we don't have that 12 volt or 24 volt running through the house, so all of our lights are 110 and our appliances and so on. Now, we're conscious about, you know, keeping everything low when we run it. We always watch that, but it doesn't take away much from the normal house living experience. Just inside here, the refresh rate makes it really hard to see. That doesn't look fun at all. But this is our trimetric meter that keeps track of what's coming in on the solar panels, what's being used. This is the percent on the battery. So, you know, it's pretty common on a sunshiny day to be charged up right around noon, 1 o'clock, especially in the summertime. In the wintertime, things kind of change a little bit from there. We have a television, not that we watch it a lot. We have a washing machine and dryer that you can hear. And we actually, maybe I'll walk that way here, walk through the kitchen and so on. We're coming out of the weekend, so things are still a little bit messy, relatively clean. Into the noisy bathroom here. but the washing machine's running. As you see, we have a normal sized washing machine and dryer. You know, maybe it would have been worth my time to buy something a little more efficient, but really these have been working out okay. The dryer is a propane, it runs on propane as well as electrical, you know, the 110, but it doesn't take the higher 220. And it still takes a lot of electricity, believe it or not. The element, we found this out on the dryer and on the oven actually, that the little element that ignites the propane, it takes a ton of amps. And you know, if I'm running the generator or something like that, you can tell a huge drawdown when it tries to ignite the heater, so on and so forth. Maybe I should have shown you while I was in there among all the noise. But we also have a water heater that's on demand. Now that doesn't have the same problem with igniting the fuel, and I'm not exactly sure why. It doesn't have a pilot light, it just has a different type of ignition that doesn't draw a bunch of amps to get it started, which is nice. Again, a propane source, not an electrical heated water source. And we don't have an alternative heating method yet for heating water. I mean, we have our wood stove, but it doesn't have a water jacket in it, though some models do. And we don't have a solar water heater. This has been working out really well though, so I'm not sure that we want to change it. I'm going to show off some of the appliances in our messy kitchen, and I guess it's not too bad. But we have this regular propane stove. Again, when the element tries to start or ignite the propane, that uses a lot more power than we expected. So this is a bigger draw. We have a fairly normal sized refrigerator. And I should say, between this refrigerator and our chest freezer outside, those are the biggest power consumers here. You can also hear our little 12 volt pump. We have a separate 12 volt system with a little tiny solar panel that runs our pump and a little UV light for sanitation. And that's been doing all right. We also have a little battery tender. Well, it's not little, it actually can put out a lot of amps. That was connected to our battery in our RV. I just took that out of the camper, plugged it in down there to help monitor and charge the battery when there isn't enough solar power. It's a really inefficient way to do it. Like seriously, my 12 volt system adds a lot of inefficiency to my overall system. It's on the docket to improve, but it's really working out okay. We also have quite a few regular conveniences that maybe I wasn't expecting to be able to use, such as our KitchenAid mixer. You might be able to see it over my shoulder. We have a blender and all of those types of things. Toaster, no, we weren't able to do the toaster thing. Somebody gifted us a toaster oven, and it works when it's really sunshiny outside. We don't have a microwave, and I'm actually not convinced that it wouldn't work. A lower wattage microwave might work just fine. But all in all, I feel like we live fairly comfortably on the little solar powered, or you know, the little solar system we have out there. So our off-grid system isn't as big as it could be, and our household consumption isn't what other houses could be. But overall, I'm very impressed. We feel quite comfortable.